What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? This is your boy Is Nefarious, and I'm here for another episode following the Chicago White Sox rebuild. We are here in season 2. We finally made it to season 2 after a long wait in season 1. We're here in season 2. We've made some changes to the team. We've added somebody like Dylan Cease. We wanted to build the rotation in a good defense and a good starting rotation as well as a bullpen, and we're on our way to doing that. The first is a $35.2 million per year deal to Dylan Cease for 6 years. I forgot what the exact number but it was like over 200, like 217 or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but we add Dylan Cease to bolster this rotation, and we got some other question marks which we'll get to, but that is the only starting pitcher that we added via free agency. We added Camilo Duvall through a trade. We traded Andrew Vaughn over to the San Francisco Giants, and we were able to get Camilo Duvall, who could potentially try to compete for a closing role here. We also added a couple more players. We added Ryan O'Hearn at first base. He's got good fielding. We definitely wanted to improve the fielding at first base. We did get a little bit older, but I think we got a better bat and also better fielding out of the first baseman. So we improved the first base position a little bit. We added Liho Tehera from the draft. He was one of our draft picks, I believe our second round draft pick. He's already a 74 overall. Going to be interesting to see how he develops. He's only C potential, but he's ready to go now. We'll probably see him either later on this year or maybe next year, depending on how our second base tandem goes in the majors. We added Yohan Moncada through free agency. He's coming back to the Chicago White Sox. He's got good fielding, a pretty decent bat. Nice platoon type of player that we grabbed there. Other than that, we've added a third baseman prospect in Harvey Thurston. Almost forgot about him. He's a 48 overall B potential, so obviously he probably won't really end up ever playing in the majors, but he is young at no, actually he's not young. I thought he was 18. He's 22, so that's even worse. So it seems like a really bad pick there. We've also added Darren Blanco, who is a outfielder who's got really good speed, kind of feeding into that havoc on the base paths type of mentality that we want to have, and he also has okay fielding, and I think that's something that he could improve in. But that really good speed really helps with the havoc on the base paths that we want. We also added a right fielder in DJ Stewart, who is a Rule 5 draft pick. He's a first baseman, could play all three outfield positions, and he's a solid fielder with 69 fielding, a pretty decent arm, and he's got some pop on the left side of the plate. Our number 1 draft pick, or the 10th overall pick, was Juan Cruz, a 59 overall B potential outfielder. We definitely missed on this one. He's got 77 speed, not so great, but we do like the vision discipline, the fielding starting out, and also the speed, and hopefully he could develop into something nice for us. So he's our first draft pick and probably our best prospect out of that draft. But those are the changes that we made for the team, and now we're going into spring training. Now the thing about spring training is where you have position battles, and we do have some position battles here in Chicago. One of the main things is we're gonna rock obviously a 5-man rotation, maybe even 6, and we got only 3 spots locked down, and that is Dylan Cease is going to be our ace. We got Sean Burke, who I think was pretty solid. We're going to give him another shake. We're going to lock him into one of the starting positions. He had a 3.4 WAR as a pitcher. And then Jonathan Cannon, who had a really good season at 3.55 ERA, 135 WHIP, and a 1.9 WAR, and has some potential at the B potential 77 overall. Now the question is, who is going to be 3, 4, and 5? Is Hagen Smith going to be ready to step in to the rotation? Mike Vasil, is he going to step into the rotation? You got Yaro Iriarte, who had a good year in AAA. Is he going to be ready? Noah Schultz is also in spring training. You got Shane Smith, Drew Thorpe, Davis Martin, and then you got Nick Nastrini, Jared Schuster, and Owen White, who had a good season in AAA. So we got a bunch of bodies trying to compete for that bottom of the rotation starting spot. Hagen Smith might even end up number 3, depending on how we want to do right left in that rotation. Relief pitchers, we have another position battle all throughout basically, but the main position battle out of this is going to be Jose Alvarado, Camilo Duvall, and James Karinchak, and Penn Murphy. I almost forgot him. We're going to have all 4 of these pitchers kind of compete to see who's going to be the closer out of the spring training. So it'll be a big spring training for these 4. They're most likely going to be in the majors no matter what, and that leads to a question on who's going to finish the rest of the bullpen. And with a long relief, we'll probably have 6 reliefs, maybe 1 long relief, 5 regular reliefs, and a closer. So that being said, who is going to get the 2 other spots that will be left behind? You got Perlander Baroa, who's young and developing. He's 25. You got Jordan Leisure. You got Cam Boozer. You also got Frazier Ellard, Jose Ruiz, and Gus Varland. And now the thing with guys like Ellard and Boozer, they're both left-handed, and we'd like to have a couple left-handed arms in that bullpen. Taking a look at the catchers, no position battle happening here. Edgar Quero is not even on the 40-man, so he's not going to be able to battle it out and try to get to the majors maybe later on in the season if some injuries happen and we need to bring up another catcher. But right now he is mainly trade bait, and we'll see if we're able to move him. You got Ryan O'Hearn, who's going to be our starting first baseman. No, position battle. Maybe Bobby Dahlbeck and DJ Stewart, who both are, first baseman backups. But DJ Stewart has a little more versatility, being able to play the outfield. But you do get all infield positions with Bobby Dahlbeck, second base, third base, and shortstop. So he's able to play multiple positions pretty well too with that fielding. The only thing is he's not going to hit for a lot of, for a good batting average. Gut pop, though. You got Lennon Sosa and Chase Mydroth. They are going to battle it out for second base. Who's going to come out with that? You also got DH in play, which Chase Mydroth and Lennon Sosa will also be a part of. You got Josh Rojas, who's going to take over third base. Yohan Moncada is going to be in a battle to see if he can make the roster. Might even be sent down depending on how it goes. Colson Montgomery is also battling to see if he'll take shortstop out of camp. He is 24 years old. It might be time to put him in the fire, but we want him to earn it. Brooks Baldwin as well is going to be fighting. He's a versatile guy that can play shortstop, second, third, left, and center. You got Jacob Amaya, who had a decent season. He'll be battling out with Yohan Moncada and some of the backups to see if he makes the major league roster. Taking a look at the left field, Blanco will be battling it out with other outfielders to see if he's going to be starting in left field. You also have Dominic Fletcher and DJ Stewart and Oscar Colas, who will be battling it out with him to see who gets the left field position. The center field position and the right field position are going to be pretty much locked up by Luis Robert Jr. and Austin Slater. And those are the position battles going into spring training. Something to keep an eye on as we sim through spring training. We'll be also, moving guys around, getting some guys into starting positions so they're not just coming out of the bullpen, and really getting a look at who is ready and who's not ready and who's going to take over these positions. But without further ado, I'll jump into the sim and then we'll pick it up when spring training is over. Alright, with spring training finally over, it's time to take a look at some of these position battles that we might have had. So taking a look at the starting position, we know who's locked. Dylan Cease is locked. Also, it was Sean Burke that was locked. And then we had Jonathan Cannon as one of the locks, who did not have a great spring, but with his season last season going 5-10, 3.55 ERA, 135 WHIP. I mean, I don't think I should put him in the 1.9 WAR. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt until he proves me wrong. So the spring training is what the spring training is. So we had to figure out who 4 and 5 were gonna be. And the leader in ERA was Jared Schuster, but he only played 1 game, so that's a short sample size. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him into another game, but maybe he's somebody that will be the long reliever. Sean Burke was the second best in ERA. He had a 1.13 ERA. He did pitch, it looks like 1 game. He started 2 games. He played in 4. He got eight innings pitched. He's walked 2 and 8. He had a 1.13 ERA. He had 11 strikeouts. He also had a 1 WHIP. Taking a look at the K per 9, it was at 12. Walks per 9, it's at 2. We don't like that 2 number, but he had a good spring training. Other than that, Shane Smith. No, Sean Burke's the only one that's actually locked. What am I saying? Shane Smith is who I had to talk about with a 129, a 0.89 whip. He started 2 games. He pitched in 7 innings. He also had a K of 5.14, and he didn't allow a walk the whole time. So I think he deserves it, getting a starting position. He'll be number 4. Now the question is, who would be number 5? So you got Dylan C, Sean Burke, Shane Smith, and Jonathan Cannon. You got Mike Vasil, who had a 204. He had a 142 whip and 17 innings pitched. He walked 11 batters, though. I think that automatically eliminates him. You cannot walk 11 batters. But then Dylan Cease walked 8. But we know who Dylan Cease is. He had a 142 whip. He started 3 games. He also had a 0.2 WAR, 8.15 K per 9, 5.90 walk, 5.60 walk per 9. His FIP was at a 4.53. Taking a look at the other options, Drew Thorpe had a 327. He started only 1 game, played in 7 though with a 327 ERA. He also had a 0.3 WAR, 9 Ks per 9, walks per 9. It was at 245. Home runs under 1, which is great. FIP of a 3.0. Now we also had Hagen Smith, who had a 375, and he was hopeful to start the season in the MLB. He started 3 games. He had a 142 whip. He also had a K per 9 of 9, and then also a walk per 9 of 375. And out of that, I would say Drew Thorpe would be the winner. Now the only issue is Sean Burke, right-handed. Shane Smith, right-handed. Dylan Cease, right-handed. Then you go to Jonathan Cannon, right-handed. So that being said, we need a left-hander. Is it Hagen Smith? I think he had a good preseason, or a good spring training, I should say. Or it could be Jared Schuster. Maybe Jared Schuster is going to be that 5th reliever. That long reliever that we need. I think that will be the decision that we go with. Maybe Mike Vasil as well as one of those long relievers. The disappointments from spring training, Davis Martin is back there. So is Noah Schultz. Both struggled this spring training. Owen White as well. And Jonathan Cannon. But we're going to give him the benefit of doubt. Now, when it comes to relief pitching, Camilo Duvall did not allow an earned run. In 9.2 innings pitched, he had 1 save. He had 3 walks, 13 strikeouts, and had a whip under 1. You also have Karen Kak, who had a 1.76 but a 0.59 whip. He actually led in whip when we look at it. He also had 5 saves. I don't know if he had any blown saves. He did not have any blown saves. So Karen Kak, who was our closer last year, didn't do anything to really lose his job, if I'm being honest. I think Duvall would definitely be one of the setup guys. I think he performed really well in preseason. Penn Murphy definitely had a preseason that wasn't great. Cam Boozer with a great preseason as well. But when it comes to the closer, I think Karen Kak won it. We're going to have Boozer, Duvall, Murphy, Leisure, and Baroa will be there, as well as Alvarado. So take a look. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 relief pitchers. Obviously, not all 7 could make it. So probably Baroa would be the one I choose to send down, or Leisure. So you take a look. 3 ERA and a 1.17 WHIP. What does it look like for the WAR? 0.1. He had a 0.0. The K per 9s were higher. The walk per 9s for Baroa were pretty high. So I think it would be Leisure who would end up in that bullpen. So taking a look at the bullpen, you have Karen Kak as the closer, Cam Boozer as one of the relief pitchers, and probably a middle relief, Duvall as a setup guy, Murphy as a setup guy, and then you would have Leisure as a middle relief, Alvarado as a middle relief as well, and then you probably have a long relief pitcher of Jared Schuster. That would probably be the long relief pitcher, and we'll have Hagen Smith in a rotation. Now, taking a look, catchers, there wasn't a battle there, but we had a battle for first base, for backup first base. 241 to 338, a 407 slug for a 746 OPS. He also, let's see how he was in the field. He did have one error in the field, a minus 0.5 WAR, which you don't like to see. Now his competition, which was the right fielder in DJ Smith, he had a 352 average, 407 on base, slugging of 593, 999 OPS. I think that pretty much writes it home. So Bobby Dahlbeck will most likely be sent down into AAA. Chase Meidroth and Lennon Sosa battled, and Chase Meidroth ran away with it. 377 average, 461 on base, slugging of 468, and an OPS of 928. Absolutely tearing the cover off the ball in a 0.9 WAR, but he also could play DH, which he was in this preseason. Did he have any errors? He had no errors because he wasn't on the field. He played mostly DH, but he tore the cover off the ball. Yohan Moncada, he had a 175. Rojas had a 264. Moncada, who was battling with Lennon Sosa, and also a couple of the shortstops, he has a 175, a 254 on base, slugging of 228, and OPS of 482. Definitely not a great spring, but he was good in the field. Not a single error in the field, so that's good. Taking a look at Brooks Baldwin, who was in a battle with Colson Montgomery and Jacob Amaya. Brooks Baldwin, 241, a 279 on base, a slugging of 345, OPS of 624. Taking a look in the field, he also had 3 errors for a 955. He wasn't the worst fielder. It was actually Colson Montgomery. Not a good look from Colson Montgomery. Could end up in, AAA just because of, his performance. But given his youth and, him being 24, I think it's now or never. So I think we have to keep him up. When it comes to Brooks Baldwin, a 241, and then Jacob Amaya with a 254. Better on base from Jacob Amaya as well. The OPS was better for Brooks Baldwin, which is a huge stat. And then the errors, you had a better fielding percentage from Jacob Amaya. So at the end of the day, it's a tough call to go with either one. Brooks Baldwin also had a better WAR at the end of the day. So we'll see. I think they both beat out Yohan Moncada and Lennon Sosa. So you could see them both in the majors and Lennon Sosa down at the end of the day. But Lennon Sosa, who did not have a great spring training, is also somebody that was pretty decent last year with a 247 average, 297 on base, slugging of 379 and an OPS of 676. His WAR was also a 0.5, so we'll keep that in the back of our mind. Taking a look at Darren Blanco, who had a 262 average, 354 on base. We love that on base. He also stole 3 bases, slugging of 405. He's in the majors no matter what. The question is if he's starting or not. And he only had 1 error in the field, a minus 0.4 WAR. He was competing against Dominic Fletcher, who batted 250, 279 on base, 469 slugging, a 748 OPS, which is actually lower in all categories than Darren Blanco. Taking a look at the field, and though he had 1 error for 960, his WAR was 0.4 as well. Was he a negative WAR? Yeah, minus 0.4. I wonder why. Interesting. Take a look. Oscar Colas, he batted 228 at 302 on base, slugging of 439. OPS is 740. So pretty decent. He had 1 error in the field. Austin Slater and DJ Stewart didn't have any errors, and we already talked about DJ Stewart. So, that being said, it looks like with a 740 and the 1 error, him and Dominic Fletcher, those two would be battling it out. And I think Dominic Fletcher comes away with the win in the position battle when it comes to all Oscar Kalas and Dominic Fletcher. So those were your position battles. Those were the quote-unquote winners. We're now going to make up the lineup, and then we'll jump into opening day. So with the lineup all set, here's what we're looking at. Dylan Cease as the ace, as we know. Sean Burke behind him. Hagen Smith as the number 3. Jonathan Cannon as the number 4. And Shane Smith As the number 5, you got Jared Schuster. As the long relief, you got Cam Boozer, Jordan Leisure, Jose Alvarado, Camilo Duvall, Ken Murphy, and James Karenkak. Jared Schuster might be on a short leash. We'll see how the AAA goes and how he starts off this season. But after not letting up an earned run in 5 innings pitched, we're gonna give him a shot. Kind of be that dark horse. Now, taking a look at the lineup itself, this is what we're gonna be rocking with. Chase Maidroth is gonna lead off at DH. You got DJ Stewart behind him in left field, Lewis Robert Jr. at center field, Ryan O'Hearn at first base, number 4, Austin Slater, number 5 at right field, Colson Montgomery at shortstop, batting 6, Brooks Baldwin at second base, batting 7th, Kyle Teal at catcher, batting 8th, and then you got 9th, Josh Rojas, third baseman. Pretty much going to be the same thing. The one change on the left-handed pitchers, Rojas is going to step into the number 2 slot, Brooks Baldwin up to number 9, and Darren Blanco is going to take over as the 7th batter, since he hits left-handed pitchers a lot better than DJ Stewart hits left-handed pitchers. I'm actually going to make I was going to change Rojas back, but then again, I look at the lineup and Rojas would kind of be in the middle of 2 lefties. What happens if we put him here and then we go with Blanco there? This is a little bit better. I think we're gonna rock with that same lineup. We're just gonna put Blanco at number 2, so we'll have 3 righties to lead off the game against left-handed pitchers. But with that being said, now it's time to jump into game 1, where we'll play the Detroit Tigers. So a divisional game, as always, a fun one, and that will be our opening day. So let's jump into it. The future is bright as we jump into season 2. We added a new ace, which we're excited about. We've improved this team a little bit, but are we ready to make a push for a wild card spot? We won't be in contention for the World Series, but maybe if we're lucky, we could end up in a wild card spot and just have a little bit of playoff fun, or maybe we end up around the wild card spot. That will be an improvement over last season. Last season, I believe we had 70 wins, so hopefully we could eclipse that, and that would be an improvement as well. So jumping into opening day, it's going to be a fun one. Will Dylan cease to amaze and maybe have a complete game or a no-hitter if we're lucky? But let's jump into it and let's see how we do. And on the mound is Tariq Skubal for the Detroit Tigers. As you can see, last year 11-13, 3.62 ERA, 115 WHIP, 204 strikeouts, and 196 innings pitched. And our leadoff batter is Chase Maidroth, who's going DH full time right now, just because he's got a good bat in his field and is a little behind. So gonna give him some time to develop that fielding while he's young, and then potentially end up back in the field at a later date and maybe even get a better DH hitter. But Chase Maidroth is going to be that DH until the newcomer comes along, or we get some improvement somewhere. 2-1. Chase Maidroth is going to start off the season well. He's going to send it into right field for a base hit. So we're starting off the season pretty well with the bats. 1 for 1. Let's see if we could keep it going. Oh, I just realized we were muted the whole time. After the leadoff hit, a double play ends the inning as Luis Robert Jr. grounds out to third base. So the leadoff hit does nothing, and Skubal gets out of the inning. We got Dylan Cease making his debut. He was 12-7 with a 3.32 ERA, 123 WHIP, 234 strikeouts, and 189 innings pitched. So striking out a ton, and we'd love to see that over here in Chicago. Very first batter. See if we can get off to a good start. Let's start with that sweeper. On the 2-2, we're going to offer a sweeper here. He's going to knock it to third. That's played easily. A good play by our third baseman sets him down to start the game. And here's a look at the lineup for the Detroit Tigers. So Dylan Cease starts pretty well in his career. One up, one down here in Chicago. Hopefully that continues. And the reason we brought in Dylan Cease is because we want to build a great rotation, and we have the prospects for it. Dylan Cease will just improve that and give us a little bit of time before the prospects are ready. And hopefully he could help carry us to a wild card spot, because like I said, we want to compete early on. We do not want to sit here and, you know, rebuild, get a bunch of first overall picks, and then you have all these great draft picks. And would you look at it, we're competing now. We want to take it in a realistic way where we want to compete every single season until we can't compete no more. And I think Dylan Cease helps us with that. We did pay a pretty penny for him, $35 million for 6 years. But I think he'll be worth it, as we're going to go with a 12-6 here on the 1-2 count. Does not offer. That was close. The 3-2 count is going to get a 12-6 curve and gets the strikeout to end the inning. So a good first inning for Cease as he knocks him down 1, 2, 3. Leading up, the newcomer Ryan O'Hearn. So he went with Ryan O'Hearn in free agency just because he could do stuff like that, but also because we felt like Andrew Vaughn was not the answer moving forward. He's not a great fielder. He is getting a little bit older, and we went with Ryan O'Hearn, and he starts off his White Sox career with a ground rule double, a bomb into right center field that just missed a home run. So that's already paying dividends. And Austin Slater, who had a phenomenal year last year, comes back to the team. We're happy to get him back. We actually got him cheaper than we originally wanted. We offered him a 2-year, $10.25 million deal. He did not sign, went to free agency, and it turned out nobody was interested. And we got him for $7.2 million. We saved some money there, as he's going to roll over to shortstop. That's going to get right over to first baseman, an easy out. So one down with a man on second, so still got a good chance. Colson Montgomery, starring in the majors. He made his debut last year, late in the season, when we called up people in September. Now we get to start off from opening day and have a full season in the majors. He did not have a great spring. We were thinking about holding him back, but 24 years old, I think holding him back right now would be really bad for his career at 24. So we're going to have him up in the majors, and hopefully he could perform. As he rolls it over to first, he's going to bring the runner to third base, but not exactly what we wanted. And somebody that had a decent spring, Brooks Baldwin, who is coming off a major injury from last season. And hopefully he's fully healthy and could play a full season. He is another young player we have, only 25 years old. So somebody we could build for the future with, as he totally whiffs on that one. Chase the circle change way in the dirt. Gonna fight that one off. Is that gonna stay in play? The first baseman's given chase, but that's gonna go out of play. So another 0-2 coming. And on the 1-2, Baldwin misses that circle change for strike 3. So Schoolboy gets out of the jam after giving up the leadoff double. Now let me know in the comments, how do you feel about our addition of Cease? Do you think that was a good move to make? Do you think we're jumping the gun a little bit? Do you think we should be tanking? Just let me know down in the comments what you feel. I want us to compete. I really do. I don't care how bad the team is. I'm surprised we got Cease too, because he wasn't even motivated to sign with us, but we upped the offer a little bit, and I guess it was enough to get him over, as he's going to get the first out here. Kerry Carpenter pops out to the first baseman O'Hearn. And on the 1-0, he's going to go down the right field line, and that's going to land fair. A great hit there. Just inside the white chalk. Oh man, on first, the first base runner here in the bottom of the second. Can Dylan Cease get out of here without any damage? One pitch I like to go after too, if we can, with the starting position, is a 12-6 curve. I think it's a great pitch, but also one of my favorite pitches. But 3-1 after multiple 12-6 curves. We're gonna have to give him a sweeper over the plate. He swings it. That's going to short. Good play by Colson Montgomery, and they turn to Colson Montgomery. What a play. Take a bow, and they get out of the inning. What a great play by Colson Montgomery and Brooks Baldwin. Leading off this inning, you got Kyle Teal. He ended up getting called up midway through the season last year. I think right before the All-Star break, if I remember correctly. Did pretty well in his call-up. He wasn't setting the world on fire, but definitely looked like a major league batter and also a major league catcher, as he's going to take that one. So 2 strikes here early on against Scooble. See if we can get a hit here. Now Kyle Teal's got a pretty good glove and a pretty good bat. Kind of a well-balanced catcher as he strikes out here on the slider. Schoolball gets him with the K. Now somebody who was injured for most of the season last year, Josh Rojas, is back and ready for opening day. He started off the season on the IR. He came in late, and actually he had a good end of the season. We were kind of out of it at the time, but he was pretty efficient at third base. Good with the glove, and then also he was good with the bat. And we'll see if he could continue it this season as he takes ball 2. That one was real close. That's going to be grounded to first base. Is it going to be enough? No, it is not fast enough to beat the first baseman. So 2 down early on. Here comes Chase Mydroth, who started off the game with a base hit. And he's going to ground that to third. That's going to be an easy play. So 1, 2, 3 for Scooble here in the third. That's going to be a light tap at the first base, and Cease makes the play. And we have auto fielding on just because it makes it a little more realistic, less user input, and these guys' fielding ratings could really take place, and throwing ratings and all that. We do have the pitcher consistency down to try to, get some bad pitches here and there that miss the spot completely. Might even turn it down more. I feel like I still get out to early leads in the count, so definitely might edit that even further, or just edit the control altogether. On the 2-2, that's going to be up the middle, but Brooks Baldwin, this middle of the infield, is eating up the ground balls. What a great play by Brooks Baldwin. Hell of a play by the young man, making a fantastic dive and grab. That might be the thumbnail right there. And 2 Brooks Baldwin on a 0-1, nice and easy. That one was much easier than the last one. And 1, 2, 3 go to Tigers once again. This is going to turn out into a pitching duel. Dyer Blanco, the newcomer. Like I said, really good in the base pass. We just got to get him out there. He misses that sinker. he's able to get out there, then, you know, we are going to cause havoc as much as possible with him. Oh, we went around. Not a good start to that bet. He's going to slap that to right field. Is that going to land fair? No, it does not. Just outside the line. That was real close. On the 1-2, that's going to be popped out right to center field. Easy one down. Darren Blanco goes down. And Luis Robert Jr. up to the plate. He started off really hot last season and then cooled off immensely because he was batting about 300 first couple of months and then ended with a 240 average to end the season. Well, that kind of tells you how much he cooled off towards the end. That circle change is nasty as we're way ahead of that. That's up the middle. Luis Robert Jr. gets his first hit of this season, and he's another one that could cause some havoc on the base pass. So pay attention to him as he might be able to steal. He's going on the first pitch. That's outside. Is he going to be able to get there? He is. Luis Robert Jr. with a stolen base. Beautiful jump on that. So he's on second with one down with O'Hearn, who had the double in his first at bat. The one thing we might miss with Andrew Vaughn is he was great with runners in scoring position, and this is a chance for O'Hearn to prove that he could be just as good for us. As we missed a slider, I think we were way too early, so we check swung. Yeah, too early on that one. Hopefully Austin Slater could pick him up. Either we were too early or we just check swung because we did not swing straight and we, you know, went off to the right with our swing path. That's going to be down the third baseline. That's easily played. And another sticky situation escaped by Scooble as Robert Jr. was on second with only one down. So trying to make this pitching duel continue. You're going to have Dylan Cease back on the bump. Starts off with a strike here. Back-to-back 12-6. He's going to get a ground ball to third base. There's Rojas. Easy play for him. One down. And on the first pitch of the next at-bat, that's going to be popped out to right field for an easy fly. Two down. The ever dangerous Jock Peterson steps up. Yeah, we make it another 1-2-3 in, and he's got so far on the pitch count. Dylan Cease has 38 pitches, and we're here in the fourth, so we're on a good pace for him to go deep in this one. As Jock Peterson swings for the fences and misses the 12-6 curve. I'm gonna try to give him another one after missing that one. He does not offer. That's a good eye. It's a really good eye by Jock Peterson.
That's in. Ball two.
On the 2-2 count, another 12-6. We let that hang a little bit, but that's played by Colson Montgomery. A straight screamer up the middle, but the shift was on, and Colson Montgomery with a great snag. That almost took off Dylan Cease's head. And after that good play in the field, Colson Montgomery's going to start us off. Scooble's up to 49 pitches. We want to get him up to 60 before this inning's over.
Ball one, no strikes.
That's my rule of thumb. Always have 10 more pitches than the inning. And we were way too early on that circle change. That could have been a great chance to make some damage happen.
I got 3-2.
So a 3-2 count to the rookie Montgomery. What will he get from Scooble? A slider, and he misses it. Scooble puts him down with a strikeout, his 4th of the game. Here comes Brooks Baldwin, who had that diving play early on in this game. And he makes something happen with the bat. He's going to go after the first one. That's going down the line. Is left fielder going to be able to get there? He does. And down goes Brooks Baldwin. Doing some damage in the field, but none with the bat so far. And in steps Kyle Teal. Now, him and Montgomery are going to be a cool storyline this season. How good will they be? Brooks Baldwin as well, who had a decent spring. Will he be good? As Kyle Teal's going to knock that into right field for a base hit. So we are not dead yet here in the 5th. See if Josh Rojas could move him along. Little pickoff play, but Kyle Teal's back in time. A 1-2 to Rojas. He's going to take that down the line, but that is going to go foul. That was close. That could have been dangerous. Potentially scored the first run of this game if that was fair. But he's fighting strong in this at bat as he fouls that one off.
The count's full.
So after a long at bat, Josh Rojas makes this count full. Scooble with the pitch, and he's gonna fight off another one. That one was too close for comfort, but probably ball 4. The next pitch, it's going to be a circle change, and Rojas with another good swing, able to knock that one off, and it's an 11 pitch at bat. He's gonna fight that off. That's going to center field. There goes Kyle Teal, but we're going to hold him at second. So first and second after a phenomenal at-bat from Josh Rojas against Scooble. And we're able to extend this inning with Chase Mydroth in the top of the order coming up. And Mydroth is going to get a fastball down the middle, but that is going to be an easy fly out to center. So we're not able to do any damage in that inning after a good 2-out hitting from both Rojas and Kyle Teal. As you can see, this is the projections for the Detroit Tigers. They got them finishing 72 and 90 this season, and hopefully that's true because we definitely don't want to be last place in this division. So after a ground out to start the inning, Dylan Cease is looking to mow him down even more and potentially get deep into this outing early on in the season, as he only has 44 pitches thus far this start. So he is, being very efficient so far. And on the 1-2, we're going to try to get him with a sweeper. We're going to miss our spot, and he's going to drive that. But thankfully, that went foul. Here comes the 1-2 once again at 12-6, and that gets him. That 12-6 is nasty. Only second strikeout for Dylan Cease. Usually a strikeout pitcher, too. And in comes the 2-2 to Perez. We're going to miss our spot. He's going to ground it up the middle. Montgomery with a nice easy play. And 1-2-3 once again go to Tigers. Dylan Cease rolling through this lineup. And they're going to go with a new pitcher. Bo Brisky comes in. He is a pitcher that, I don't know his stats. I was actually just going to read it, and that's kind of why I'm stumbling. But we weren't able to read his stats, but hopefully we could send him to the L column, because right now it looks like Scooble is going to be off the hook, at least. And it looks like Blanco is just going to roll out to third base for the first out. He's got, I think, 99 speed. So he's always a threat whenever he puts the ball in play. And here comes Luis Robert Jr. And he's gonna miss that slider, and his eyes lit up. That was a great pitch to hit, and just came up empty. That one was a good pitch to hit too. Empty once again as he fouls it off. An early 0-2 count here. And a circle change. We are way ahead of that. Strike 3 called. So down, 2 down already, and here comes O'Hearn. He's gonna get a fastball. We are way too early on these pitches. I think it's from going from schoolboy to this relief pitcher. We're not ready for the change in speed. Only 3 miles per hour, but still. So the 1-1 to O'Hearn. Can he do some damage early on his career as a White Sox? As he fouls that one off. Just slightly late. And then the 1-2 is blown by O'Hearn for strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts gets the Tigers out of the inning. And Parker Meadows will lead off the inning coming up against Dylan Cease, who has, after giving up that 1 base runner, has been just mowing down this lineup. On the 1-2, he's gonna ground that out to short. Montgomery with a bullet of a throw. Had to hurry that throw to get a Meadows on that ground ball, and he does for the first out. On the 1-2, that's gonna be a sweeper that makes the 8th batter look silly for his 3rd strikeout. That was some nasty stuff from Dylan Cease. And that's why we signed him, folks. $35 million for stuff like that. That nasty sweeper at 88, 87 miles per hour. Just making batters look silly. Maybe change the trajectory of this team a little bit. Hopefully a lot of it. That would be even better. As he's already going to get this batter down 0-2. That's going to be a ground out to Montgomery. Easy play. And 1-2-3 once again go to Tigers. And Dylan Cease going deep into this game with the efficient pitching so far. Hopefully he can get some offense though to help him out. As Slater is going to answer the call potentially. And yes, off the right field flagpole, Austin Slater with a home run as we asked, we received. Austin Slater with a bomb to start off this inning. And that one was close. But exactly what we needed for Dylan Cease, who's been pitching phenomenal so far. Here comes Colson Montgomery. He's 0-2 today. He's had 1 good fielding play out there. Can he add a hit to it? He does, up the middle. Colson Montgomery with a base hit. First hit of the 2026 season. And to follow, it's Brooks Baldwin. And I will say, after chasing that one that was ugly, the middle of the infield has been phenomenal so far this game. Between Brooks Baldwin and Montgomery. Couldn't be any happier with the 2 of them. Couldn't be any happier with that last call too. We got bailed out after chasing the first one. Now at 3-1, we got a hitter's count. We're gonna give Brooks Baldwin the green light if we see a good one. Oh, it wasn't, and we chased it. We were ready for a fastball. It was a circle change. Way too early. Way too early. Had to fight that one off. So another full count. Pitch, and we fight that one off. 93 miles per hour, and we are turning on it fast. That means we're sped up a little too much. Gonna fight that one off. We were late on that. So 3-2 once again. And we go after the inside fastball. That was ball 4, and down goes Brooks Baldwin. Should have laid off on that.
2 strikes.
2-2 count to Kyle Teal. He's gonna drive that to second base, but that's a good play by the second baseman. Pretty much right at him, if I'm being honest. But Kyle Teal hit that pretty hard, but just right at somebody. And Josh Rojas got a chance to do some damage after that. Get the home run and a single, but nothing since then, with a strikeout and a lineout. Oh, and the circle change pulls the string, and we're way too early on that. That was a good pitch to hit too.
Ball 2.
On the 2-2, that's going to be the second base. He dives for it, and Rojas is going to get a infield single on the diving play at second base. So first and second with 2 down, and Chase Mydroth steps in. Can he do some damage for us? Righty on righty this time, so he doesn't get the advantage with the arm, but it is going to be smoked into left field. We're not going to test the arm of the left fielder. That was hit a little too hard, as Chase Mydroth gets another base hit. Having a pretty good first game, I would say, leading off for us. And Dairon Blanco comes up. Can he do some damage? Not very favorable against righties, more of a lefty guy. But hopefully he could at least drive in one of these runs.
No, that's down.
Or walk, I'll take that. Still need a lot of answers in the outfield. Besides Luis Robert Jr., Austin Slater has been pretty good, overperforms for what his ratings are, and we're hoping for the same with some of the newcomers. Well, the one newcomer with Darren Blanco, but also DJ Stewart, who was also a newcomer. He's gonna ground out to short. That's gonna go through. We're gonna try to score 2 on that. Great throw to the plate, but he beats it. Rojas going around third, scores. So 3-0. A big hit for Dairon Blanco, getting 2 RBIs in his debut as a Chicago White Sox. You love to see it. And they're going to go to the bullpen as Jason Foley comes on the mound to face Luis Robert Jr.
That's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I hope Luis Robert Jr. has a better season. You know, he started off hot, like I said, and then cooled way down and finished with a tune of 240 on the average. But he did have 32 home runs, so he showed a lot of pop, as he's gonna pop this one to first base. No pun intended. And we end the inning. So 3 runs for Dylan Cease in that inning. Good job by the offense to finally pick him up, but hopefully Dylan Cease doesn't implode in this inning, because that would be no good. He's been absolutely lights out thus far, though. So hopefully that continues. I think he's been a great addition. I also like the addition of the relief pitcher. I'm forgetting the name off the top of my head, and I should pay attention more. Camilo Duvall, that's who I'm speaking of. Excited for him because he has a nasty cutter, and when I think about the cutter, I always talk about, or mention Mariano Rivera, one of the greatest cutters of all time, coming from that man. As a Red Sox fan, I had the enjoyment of seeing that constantly. And Camilo Duvall has that type of pitch, a really high speed cutter. I don't know about the movement yet. We got to get our first look at him. Maybe today in this game we'll get our first look to see what kind of movement that cutter has. But he has crazy speed, and he does have outlier as one of his quirks, so he's pushing 99 to 100 with that cutter, as we blow a 98 mile per hour fastball by that batter with Dylan Cease for his 4th strikeout this game. Dylan Cease absolutely tearing it up on the mound. We love to see that. And to look forward to what we're doing in the next few days, we got to look at the debut of a starting pitcher of Hagen Smith in the majors. I know he played in the majors as a relief pitcher, but this will be his first ever start in the majors, and we'll get a first look at that. We'll also potentially get a look at the long reliever and Schultz. Is it Schultz? No, Schuster. Jared Schuster. Get a look at him and see how good he is as we deliver this 3-2. That's going to go outside. We're going to give up a first base runner there. So you got to see his debut. The DJ Stewart debut is also on the slate. We got a bunch of stuff to look at in the next few games, but that will be next episode after we finish up opening day. A lot of newcomers coming in, and hopefully Dylan Cease is able to potentially have a complete game in this one. Be a good start to his Chicago White Sox career, as he has 80 pitches right now, so he's close to ending his night. As that's going to second base, that's blocked by Baldwin. Will he be able to get one? He is not able to get one. So a base hit with 2 down here, and we're gonna start warming up some people. I think who we're gonna warm up is we get a switch. We got a left-hander, a switch, and a left-hander. And they hit righties better than they do lefties, so we'll get a lefty and Alvarado warming up, as well as Cam Boozer. So those two will warm up just to get ready for these next 2 batters if we can't get by this with Dylan Cease. That's going to be the second, and that's an easy play by Baldwin. And just to mention, that play by Baldwin was not an error, it was a base hit ruled on the field, so he at least didn't get an error on that, but we would like to see him make that play. So O'Hearn is going to lead off. I don't know if we're going to get another in and out of Dylan Cease. We might try to. It might be smart for us to go to the bullpen, as O'Hearn is going to drive it to right center once again. He's going to get 2. Is he going to go to 3? He is not. He's going to hold up as second, and a absolute rocket launcher from O'Hearn gets another double in today's game. So 2 doubles so far. Absolutely tearing the cover off the ball for the offense. The 2-2 to Slater, and he's gonna line out to the first baseman. Not able to really get a good piece of that one, as that inside sinker really jammed him up. And in steps Colson Montgomery. Has a base hit already today. Can he make another base hit here at least? And he's going to drive that into left field. We're going to send the runner. Is the throw going to be on line? It is offline, and the runner scores. That was risky, but it happens, and Colson Montgomery gets an RBI to start off the season, and Brooks Baldwin comes up to hopefully help add some more pressure to this offense of the Detroit Tigers, with Dylan Cease absolutely tearing it up on the mound so far. The 3-2 to Brooks Baldwin is going to be down the middle, and he's going to bring that to center field with a base hit. Brooks Baldwin keeps the inning going here with 1 down. And they're going to switch the pitcher once again, and coming on is Alec Lang, who in 21 games had 18 innings pitched, a 4.34 ERA with a whip of 177 and 1 hold. He was 0-3 in that 21 games, so not a great season. And Kyle Teal is up. Hopefully he could cause some more damage with this offense and really put this game out of reach. So far today, he is 1 for 3. Gonna be fun to watch him down the stretch and see him turn into a potential Buster Posey-esque type of catcher for us. That's the hope. Probably won't reach that. That is a high ceiling to get to. Lofty goals. But I think he will be a solid piece in this rebuild.
Nope. Outside.
Piece we could hold on for a while. A lot of contract control with him. And that's going to be ball fall. So Lang walks the first batter he fates, and up comes Josh Rojas. And we got to take some pitches here just to hope that he could throw it over for strikes. He's going to get the first one in there. And we swing over the top of that knuckle curve. Help him out on that one. Definitely a bad chase. And on the 2-2, Rojas goes to center field. That should move the runners over. At least third base goes in. And there goes the 5th run. So Rojas does his job. Knocks in Montgomery on the sac fly. 5-0. And Chase Mydroth comes up, who's 2 for 4 so far today. Can he make it 3 for 5? He can. That's driven into left field. That's going to be a base hit. We're sending the runner home. That's going to be offline, and Brooks Baldwin scores easy. So 6-0. My draw 3 for 5 today. All singles, but still tearing the cover off the ball for us. And Blanco's going to ground out. That's way too fast for us to get anything going. And there's out number 3, and in steps Dylan Cease for 8th inning. Try to get him 8 complete innings. He's gonna drive that out to center field. That's going towards right center. That's drifting back, but Luis Robert Jr. makes it there easily for 1 down. 83 pitches so far, and it looks like he's got plenty of energy, but I should get the call from the manager here in a couple seconds saying that the starter is injured, or the not injured, fatigued. We do have gameplay injuries up to 10 on sliders, just because I feel like it never happens. And on the 2-2, Austin Parker Meadows goes down looking with a fastball high and in. Dylan Cease painting the corner. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Looks like Dylan Cease is going to be able to get through 8 innings. Hopefully I didn't speak too soon. Oh, he definitely went. Definitely got a favorable call there. And that's going to be a broken bat. Is that going to be played by Brooks Baldwin? He's going to try to rush it, but he cannot. A broken bat single. What a lucky play that was. Need 1 more out with Dylan Cease to give him 8 complete innings. We do have 2 pitchers ready in the bullpen. If it does not work out. So 3-1. Will this be Dylan Cease's last batter? Either way it is. Either he gets the out or he gives up a base runner. Either way he's coming out. And the 12-6 curve, that's going to be flied out to left field. That should be an easy play. And it is. So 1, 2, 3. Well, not 1, 2, 3. But we get third out we needed. 8 complete innings from Dylan Cease in his debut. Only allowed 3 hits and got plenty of offense. 14 hits so far for the White Sox. Really tearing the cover off the ball. And we're going to be able to get our first look at our new relief pitcher, Camilo Duvall. We'll see what that cutter really looks like. As we're going to put him ready and waiting and scheduling him to get put in the game. Luis Robert Jr. goes up the middle. That's a base hit to start off in the top of the 9th. We could add more runs and really put this game away. And here comes Ryan O'Hearn, 2 for 4 in his debut. 2 doubles too. As we chase a fastball that was way inside. Well, not way inside, but inside and high at the same time. He's gonna get a curveball that he smashes into right field. That's a great throw by the right fielder. Good thing he did not go. So a 3 for 5 day for Ryan O'Hearn. Great debut, I would say. Taking over for Andrew Vaughn, and hopefully, you know, that's a sign of things to come this season. The overachiever Austin Slater so far, 1 for 4, but that one being a huge fly to give us a 1-0 lead and really spark this offense, because it was a dead ball type of game until then. He was a fun story season 1 with his performance. Can he continue it here in season 2? It'd be a really good story. And we only got him for $7 million for a couple seasons. 3-1, he's got a hitter's count. Will he give him something to hit is the question. That's right over the middle, and Slater's gonna drive that out into left center. That's gonna get down. That's gonna get over the field, over the wall, and a ground rule double for Austin Slater. That could have been a lot worse, so they were lucky it went over the wall. As Colson Montgomery steps up with 2 men on in scoring position, could really do some damage here. He so far is having a good game, 2 for 4 in this one. 2 singles up the middle. See if we could get him a big fly. That would be perfect right now. Does have the pop for it. Ooh, and we just missed that knuckle curve. That's going to be a big fly to center field. It should at least get the runner at third. The runner at second is going as well. And both are safe. And that's an RBI for Colson Montgomery on a sac fly to center field. Brooks Baldwin with the guy on third. Able to get a sac fly if he puts it in the air. I think either way he's knocking in this run as long as he puts it in play. And that one's going to go out to right center field. It's going to be played by the right fielder, but that should score the run. And in comes Austin Slater. So that's the 9th run coming through. And they're going to actually bring in a new pitcher. Only 1 out to go. I would have just left that pitcher out there, but you're going to waste another arm. In comes Brant Herter, who pitched 102 innings, had a 3.42 ERA, a 1.25 WHIP. 8 holds and a 3-2 record. Actually not that bad last season for Herter. He's a left-hander. He's going to get Kyle Teal. A lefty on lefty. Kyle Teal turned on that way too fast. That one's going to be driven by Kyle Teal. He's going back. He's going to hit the wall. That should be a double easily for Kyle Teal. So Kyle Teal keeping this in and going with 2 outs. That's a great piece. Got a swerve or a sweeper, and he was able to drive that into right field. I mixed a slurve and a sweeper together and got a swerve. I'm going to patent that pitch so nobody could steal it. Oh, too early on to Rojas. 2 really good pitchers. Not really willing to offer at either of them. And a good sweeper gets us looking. That was a really good pitch, and that's out number 3. In steps Camilo Doval. Last season he was 4-7, 4 holds and 43 innings pitched, a 5.86 ERA and a WHIP of 1.79. We did trade Andrew Vaughn for him, so will it be worth it? We'll see how he performs this season. We definitely need some bullpen arms. And like I said, I liked his repertoire, I liked his quirks, I liked everything about him. not a really good season with the not having a really good season with the Giants is something that's, you know, worrisome, but he looks like he's got all the tools to be great, and hopefully a change in scenery helps him out, as he's almost going to get a strikeout there. He chases that one but makes good contact, and here comes that cutter. Let's see how good of a cutter it is. 96, and on the outside corner, gets his first strikeout on the team. Looking good so far for Camilo Duvall. That slider is nasty as well, 89 miles per hour. And he's got a sinker. And hits 99 on that sinker. He's got some nasty stuff. And he's gonna get another strikeout there. So 2 up, 2 down, both via the K. Camilo Duvall making an impressive debut. But he's not out of the woodwork yet. He's got Jock Peterson up. And Peterson's going to fly out to right center. It looks like Robert Jr. is going to make the play. And there's the game. The Chicago White Sox come out with the victory, 9-0 to start the season. Dylan Cease phenomenal. The batters, the offense was phenomenal. Good game from Montgomery. Good game from Kyle Teal, some of the rookies. Good showcase from both our newcomers when it came to Darren Blanco, and then also Ryan O'Hearn. Both really had good debuts in this one. And a really good debut from Colson Montgomery in his first opening day, and phenomenal debut from Dylan Cease. As you can see, Brooks Baldwin making a phenomenal play. So, looking at the full box score, Chase Mydrus was 3 for 5 with an RBI. You had Blanco, who was 1 for 5. He had 2 RBIs. Luis Robert Jr., 2 hits in the game, 2 for 5. You had a 3 for 5 game for Ryan O'Hearn. He had 2 doubles in the day. You had Slater, who was 2 for 5. He also had 2 RBIs. Colson Montgomery, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. You had Brooks Baldwin, who was 1 for 4. Kyle Teal, 2 for 4. And Rojas, 2 for 4. Not a single player in the starting lineup did not get a hit. Dylan Cease, he went 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. And then Camilo Duvall came in and struck out 2 and went 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the 9th. I would say overall a phenomenal opening day for the Chicago White Sox team. And we had a good start last season. We're hoping that this start really is indicative on how the season will go. So hopefully that's the case. But it's going to be a really fun season. In the next episode, you should expect us to play a little bit with Hagen Smith. Maybe get to a game where we have one of the newcomers starting in that game. You know, we got DJ Stewart that we still have to take a look at. We also got Yohan Moncada, who's back. We could take a look at him. We already saw Darren Blanco, I should say. We've seen Oscar Colas. He played a little bit last season. We still have to see Hagen Smith in his first start, like I said. Jared Schuster as well. We'll get a look at him. We also got to get a look at, I think that's actually it. I think that's it for newcomers. But it's going to be a fun season. Like I said, if you're enjoying the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. My name's Nefarious, and I am out of here.